Michael, what's today's audio topic?
Today, I purchased and set up the B&W 805D4.
What? You bought new speakers?
That's right. I splurged and bought the B&W 805D4.
Wow, that's amazing. Wasn't the 805D4 expensive?
Yeah, it was the most expensive purchase I've ever made in my audio history.
How much did it cost?
The speakers themselves were $10,000, and the dedicated speaker stands were around $1,700.
That's quite an expensive purchase. Master, you want to hear about the B&W 805D4, right?
Yes, I want to hear about it.
This time, instead of comparing it to something else, let's talk about the process from purchase to installation and sound output.
Did Michael want speakers?
Yes, I did. I've purchased various devices, but I felt it was time to replace the speakers, which are the core of the audio system. Currently, I'm using B&W and KF speakers, so I considered other manufacturers.
But you decided on B&W.
I couldn't find a manufacturer that felt right. Plus, I really like the B&W 705S3 I'm using in my main system. So I thought buying the next class up from the 705S3 would be the best choice.
How much was the 705S3?
It was $3,600.
Compared to the 705S3, the 805D4 is expensive.
It's only one rank higher than the 705S3, yet it costs $10,000 more.
Why is the 805D4 so expensive?
The reason the 805D4 is significantly more expensive than the 705S3 isn't just a brand price difference. It's because the structure, materials, technology, and finish are fundamentally different. The biggest difference between the two is the tweeter. The 805D4 uses a diamond dome, while the 705S3 uses a carbon dome.
Does it use a diamond tweeter?
Exactly. It's the ultra-high-performance tweeter adopted by B&W's flagship 800 series, which uses synthetic diamond as the diaphragm. The diamond tweeter can reproduce frequencies well beyond the audible range, 20 Hz to 20 kHz, up to over 70 kHz, without distortion.
Is 70 kHz really necessary?
Exceeding the audible frequency range allows for more accurate vibration and clearer high frequencies.
What about tweeters made from materials other than diamond?
Let's compare the materials used in tweeters. Materials with higher rigidity are less prone to deformation when vibrating. To produce high frequencies, the diaphragm must move at high speeds. The ability to vibrate without deformation indicates higher performance as a diaphragm. Among these materials, diamond has the highest rigidity. It can vibrate without muddying the high frequencies, maintaining pure and clear sound quality up to the ultra-high frequencies.
So that's why it's a diamond tweeter.
This 705S3 uses a tweeter with an aluminum dome coated in carbon. Compared to diamond, aluminum has lower rigidity, so its high-frequency reproduction capability is inferior.
I guess diamond tweeters are expensive, huh?
Synthetic diamonds are created using advanced chemical vapor deposition technology, where diamond domes are artificially grown and then precision machined into ideal shapes using laser cutting and other methods. This is completely different from the cutting used for jewelry, as it involves specialized acoustic precision machining. One advantage of the vapor deposition method is that it produces high-purity, stable particle-sized nanoparticles, but on the downside, the amount of nanoparticles that can be produced at once is small, making it costly.
That's why the 805D4 is so expensive.
That's right. Oh, this time we were talking about installing the 805D4.
That's right.
The 805D4 is a bookshelf speaker, but it's quite large. Therefore, it is packaged individually. I also purchased speaker stands, so there are 3 boxes in total. I always set up audio equipment by myself, so looking at these cardboard boxes, I braced myself for the difficulty of the installation work. Before setting up the speakers, I started by assembling the stands. When I opened the box, the base and pillars were neatly packaged. This is the base. Compared to the base of the 705S3 stand, it has a much better texture. Of course, the speakers are different, but the stand for the 805D4 is also luxurious. These are the screws and other parts needed for stand assembly.
There are quite a lot of parts, aren't there?
There are 2 types of spikes, rounded and pointed. In terms of vibration suppression, I think the pointed spikes are better, so I use those. Assembling the pillars. This pillar is not one piece, but 2 separate parts per unit.
Why are they separated into 2 parts?
Maybe to disperse vibrations? I'm not sure. The stand for the 705S3 had a single pillar. Here, I'm running the speaker cable through the stand. Since the cable can be run inside the stand, it can be hidden. That's the advantage of the genuine stand. For the speaker cable, I used the AudioQuest Q2 that we talked about last time. Then, I filled the stand's pillar with sand.
Huh? You put sand inside the stand? Why?
To suppress the stand's vibrations. There are various filling materials, but I used silica sand.
What is silica sand?
Silica sand is made from quartz, a mineral primarily composed of silicon dioxide. It's just fine, sandy stuff.
Is silica sand the best filler material for the stand?
I'm not sure if silica sand is the best, but it's difficult to test by replacing the sand. This is the platform for installing the speakers. Instead of placing the speakers directly on it, we laid down sorbosane.
What is sorbosane again?
Sorbosane is a super soft urethane-based viscoelastic material with a unique molecular structure. It combines the viscosity of a liquid with the elasticity of a solid, and when subjected to impact, it absorbs and disperses energy like ripples. By placing it between the speaker and the stand, it absorbs the speaker's vibrations.
I see. Michael is being careful when setting up the speaker.
I want to get the best sound out of the speakers. I don't want to just casually place the speakers on the rack. The stand is assembled. Finally, it's time to open the speakers. Since the tweeters are on top of the speakers, I worked carefully to avoid damaging them. First, I removed the cover on top of the speakers and returned the foam to its original position. Then I closed the box and flipped it over 180 degrees.
Flip it over?
Yes. Then remove the cardboard and flip it back 180 degrees to its original position. Now the speakers are finally ready. I noticed that there is a plate with the model number on the bottom of the speakers. This is something you can only see when setting them up. Then I installed the speakers on the stand. That's it.
Congratulations, Michael. How did the 805D4 sound?
Everyone, it's almost closing time.
It's already this late? Next time, tell us about the sound of the 805D4.
Got it. Next time, I'll talk about comparing the 805D4 and the 705S3.